the depends here is that it's our mindsets to change as the consumers. That's where the big change will come from.
Let me tell you when it's all going down. This is when you know it's going down. The second she files for divorce.
That we know.
That is it.
And she was asking, like, why can't we? And they're like, oh, no, we don't want to be the brand who's associated with homeless people. So when they have leftover soap, they go and squeeze out
the
all
bottle.
the soap. I said,
And I'm like,
go.
hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of It Depends, I Guess, podcast. I am Jackie.
and I'm Caroline.
And at the back, we have...
DJ.
Hopefully it's pressing the right buttons.
It's always so good to be back.
It is.
Yes,
It
yes.
is.
And we are back when the DJ has made a big leap.
Someone has crossed.
Yes.
Why do you want to make it the
over.
highlight of this?
It is a highlight. You
It is
have
a highlight.
crossed over. This is now a fully over 40s podcast.
Yeah. You can wear our Fortitis merchandise.
I tell you.
Yes.
I feel 21.
Yeah. How does your body feel?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
How was your birthday trip?
It was a lot of fun. We're in Malta.
Malta.
Yes, yeah. No, it was a lot of fun. A lot of family there and friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was nice. It was nice.
Yeah. How was the weather there this time of
Not
the year?
great.
Yeah.
Not great. It was about 19, 20 degrees.
Okay.
So it
Sounds
wasn't
like
like
heaven.
It wasn't like hot.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
It wasn't cold as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
We were wearing jackets still because there was just that breeze from the
Yeah,
sea.
that's
and
the ocean breeze.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we're still wearing jackets, but yeah, it was fun. It was fun. A lot of food, a lot of drink. Yeah.
Any special activities?
We went go-karting. Yeah, that was the best time of the whole trip.
Yeah.
That go-karting experience was a game changer. Oh my God. Yeah. That was the most fun we had there. And then we did shooting. It was like this shooting game. Yeah.
Like
And then
laser.
Okay. Laser tag. Yeah.
Laser tag.
Yeah.
A lot of snooker, a lot of pool, a lot of darts,
Yeah.
a lot of beer.
Oh, a lot of alpha male sports.
Yes.
I've always wondered, like, we've technically done a lot of girls trips,
Yeah,
but
that's
I've
true.
never like had somebody tell me about
No, it
like
was-
a boys trip.
That is
What
not
happens-
a bachelor, like a stag.
So, yeah.
No,
Okay.
that was what it was.
Yeah.
So we went from bars to the gaming, back to the bar, back to the gaming, to I think we went to one nightclub or two nightclubs. It wasn't really for a lot of us, and then we just ended up going back to the bars.
Yeah.
Went to Irish bars.
Irish pubs.
Irish pubs. Can I ask a question here? How do men work on accommodation? Do you share rooms? Do you have individual
no.
rooms, or how
That one
does
is
it work?
long. Everyone just books for themselves. We'll figure it out.
Or just
The
just
same
book for
hotel.
yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, we just give the name of the hotel. This is where we're staying, and
Yeah.
then you just book for yourself. Some people are smart enough to say, "Listen, I'm trying to cut costs," so you go and ask the other. Hey, listen, let's say we share a room. So there's a lot of people who shared rooms, and then
Okay.
it cost them nothing to stay there.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it was good.
Okay,
It was
cool.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. Because I think, girls, and a lot of the activities, are those pre-booked?
No.
Or you figure out when you get there?
Nah, we were told because we were going to do a boat party. Good thing we didn't even do it because the guy the link we had who was in Malta, he was telling you guys, you want to spend money? Okay, do it over the internet. That way you can't get any deals because there are no deals over the internet. The price is the price. But if you land on the ground, then you find someone who's got a boat and he's got no bookings. You just say, listen, do us a deal.
Okay.
You get a better. And even for the go-karting, that wasn't booked in advance, and we just got there. We're lucky enough to find a guy who was cool, and he was like, "How many are you?" And then they say, so it's easier to book a group of people at one time than people that come at one point, one after the other.
Okay.
So all of us took the whole afternoon. back for the bay, and surprisingly they let us drink while we were doing it,
Oh.
Well,
which
you are
was
okay.
awesome
So all this was just planned on the ground.
on the ground.
Yeah, that's different.
Yeah.
Yeah, we
We
a
overplan.
lot of
And for planners like
Yeah,
myself.
because some people are not up for it, you know.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
you have to keep in mind, people took their time off work
yeah.
to be there, you know, took their time away from family. So you can't go there telling them what to do.
Yes.
As much as it's my birthday, it's also their time off.
Yeah.
Yes, and also the money
Yeah,
spent
yeah,
on
yeah.
the trip and accommodation. Yeah.
So and then we had different cliques. So we had the over 40s,
Mm.
and then we had the under 40s who were up and going by 9 o'clock in the morning and still going at like 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
The under 30s, they got arrested. That's another story.
Oh, Lord.
And then the over 40s were in bed having a nap so that we could
So you
hit
can
the
be ready
club.
for the oh
Be out by 11.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
That
And then we had the non-drinkers as well.
Oh,
Yeah, there was a
teetotalers,
non-drinking crew, and there was
Yeah.
a drinking crew as
Yeah.
well. So whenever we did something, we made sure that
It accommodates
everyone.
everyone,
So it's
yeah.
not just a sitting in the pub whole thing all
Yeah.
the time.
Yeah.
We went to some other place where, damn, I'm not good with the names of the places there in Malta, but it was an old city where it looked like that's where they stopped off before they made the trip to America. It was like a real like slave.
Oh.
Yeah, it was different looking. Yeah, it was really cool.
Did Malta have a history of this?
I'm not sure,
Yeah.
but that area, I'm not
Yeah.
with no clue about.
Yeah.
We, us being guys, we opted out of the tour guide because there was a guy who offered us. Listen, I'll tell you the whole is my guy. We can read.
You can Google. You can chat
We can
GPT.
Google, we can read. What you on about?
We can read. That's funny.
They say if you go this way, it's only 10 euros per head. I say, nah, we're good. We're good out here.
Yeah.
We just look and then we,
You're like, all right, cool. That's
we
nice.
take a photo and then we bounce back to the bar.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. It wasn't even, I think it was mostly about the people who were there, not about where we were.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was less about the things, but the people.
Yeah.
I like those kind of trips.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Super.
Well,
was good.
welcome.
Yeah.
Milestone. It's a major milestone.
Yes. Celebrate.
You can use the cheering button for yourself.
Ooh, cheer
Hopefully.
yourself.
And then you press crickets.
14. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah.
That was fun.
My highlights of the week.
Yes.
Ooh.
Or lowlights, whatever you want to give us.
Lowlights, highlights, or highs. I guess what comes to mind right now is this weekend we went to the highest point in Europe.
Allegedly.
Jungfrau Joch.
Allegedly, yes.
I was corrected when I got back to work today. So I was also so proud of it.
What?
I was like, I went to the top and I showed them the videos and all. And then the Swiss guy says, this is not the highest point.
So this is the part about why they pride themselves with top of Europe. It's because it's the highest rail station.
Yes.
That you can get to anywhere in Europe.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
yes,
true.
Yes.
And when the snow defrosts a little bit, it's now not the high. It's only the highest point certain times of the year.
Okay.
Interesting.
Yeah, so I didn't know this. So I was like, damn.
It is 148 meters above sea level, and this is Jungfrau Joch. One of the Alps in the Swiss Alps. Yeah. And we did the most touristy thing we've ever done in Switzerland.
To be fair, that's my first glacier to have seen like up close.
Yeah.
So the geography nerd in me was like, oh my God, first glacier. This is what they're talking about in like geography class. And it's like it moves down the, I'm like, it's a glacier.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, oh, nice. Okay.
Calm down, Urkel.
No, that was cool.
It was a really cool trip. We had friends visiting from the US and Kenya. So I guess I've always realized like I never do a lot of very touristy things in this country until I have somebody visiting and then I pick off one item off the bucket list.
And we're all doing it together.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're out there pretending like we knew. It's like, it's kind of cool. Yeah.
Girl, not been here before.
Yeah. We'll probably put an insert of the picture when we were at the top.
Yes. It was really cool.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. What about you?
Is it a highlight or a lowlight or something? Anyway, we need to start either a new podcast or a new section about how the West are appropriating other cultures. So I was listening to a podcast. I think I was listening to a podcast, and they're talking about some celebrity or an influence, some popular person, and baby names. And they were talking about the person is pregnant. I think now she has a kid already. But was talking about potential baby names. But then the podcast was like, then they started talking about just in general baby names that, there's a thing where celebrities want to have the different names, etc. And there's like, they're like, they like when the celebrities name, like the kids, like, afternoon, like that's such a nice name, or like morning, or like Wednesday, or like, and I'm like,
yes,
we've been doing that shit, no?
Yes, for the longest time.
For the longest time, right?
Yeah.
But then here, colonialists, yeah, y'all are great, came and told us our names are dumb and we have to use English names. And then here, people feeling like they're doing something so unique by giving people names of, sunny.
Or even seasons, like
Seasons,
summer.
Summer.
Yeah.
And I'm like,
spring.
we've been doing that. Oh my God. And I'm just like, man, again, where every week we'll be like, Africans, let us love ourselves and stop accommodating this neo-colonialists and their ways of life. And I think it came to me because I also saw a video of, how people, they were asking like a bunch of kids in the US, mostly like non-American, immigrant or visibly immigrant, visibly
or
non-white.
recent immigrants. Yes.
And it's like, oh, what's your English name? And the guy will say, Gabriel. And they're like, where are you from? It's like, I'm from Nigeria. What's your African name? And it's like, Oluwatosin or whatever. Or even the Asians do this a lot. Like, my name is Kim. But then their actual name is some traditional Chinese name. But it's like, why the fuck do we keep changing to accommodate these characters? Keep your names. Like, keep your names. Because then here we are accommodating them and then they're naming themselves Summer, Sunny, which are names that we have endlessly. Monday.
Wednesday.
The hell?
But I've seen South Africans have done really well with doing away with English names and Nigerians as well. I think there's a big part of communities in Nigeria that no longer take up English names or Christian names.
Yeah.
Would say.
Yeah. I'm like...
So, I was going to quickly ask, is there somewhere where you could have placed a comment in the podcast you were listening to tell them, people, this is...
No, actually, I can email them.
Yeah, you just mentioned this is not...
To be like, this has been a thing, right? Like, we're talking about like your last name, I think, means swimmer.
Miss Swimmer, yes.
Like, my mom's name, my mom is Achieng. She was... Achieng is... during the day or a sunny day. My Luo name is you were born in the evening. There's people who are born in the morning, born in the rainy season. Akoth, that means rainy season. Like we have these names. But then there is like Trufena before, or Mary or Jane or whatever Christian names or English names we need to have. And then now here are these characters. Feeling like, we're so innovative with names. We never name our kids after the weather. So annoying.
Yeah. I would give a comment over there just to let them know it's not like they're inventing the most
unique and new. It's like name innovation.
Thing. It's not new innovation. We've done this for years.
Folks, let's love ourselves and let's not take up names just that they can feel like it's easier to be pronounced. No, learn how to pronounce it. Yeah.
Definitely.
Yes.
The Diddy update.
Oh, Lord. Bring it on.
What is it? Did it just happen?
No, I don't know why I hit applause there. But his lawyer spoke out today. Well, actually, on Friday. On Friday, on Friday.
Yeah, what is it?
He says Diddy's that Cassie tape was doctored.
What?
This is the words from Diddy himself. And I've never known him to lie. Yeah, where he's dragging her in the passage.
Kicking her in that
his lawyer was saying that he's speaking on behalf of Diddy.
On Diddy, he told his lawyer to tell everybody those because he's trying to.
So why
apply
was he
for
crying
bail.
on Instagram?
Yeah, see, he was just doing that for
useless.
Yeah.
So you are useless.
Diddy's going away for a long time.
For
Ah,
a long
better.
time. Yeah. And there's no
Very
option
long
for
time.
bail or anything.
No,
They wait
no,
for
no.
the hearing.
The judge denied him bail again. So he was trying to say to the judge that this video was doctored. I didn't throw the vase at her. I threw it behind her, where she just happened to be.
And when he was dragging her and kicking her,
Yeah, that was doctored.
he was having a seizure.
Yeah, no.
Got it.
No, you didn't see what you saw. Is what
Yeah,
he's
yeah,
saying.
for sure. It's AI.
Yeah, he's not gonna.
He's not going anywhere from
Yeah.
anytime soon.
This is okay. I don't know if I should say this. Anyway, you know how the internet has been like, oh, Diddy going down? They're like, they think certain people will also be going down. So people like Jay-Z, etc. But what I found interesting is Beyonce has been working hard this year. In terms of, I was saying she's launched 3 or 4 brands this year. 3? She launched the hair care line. She launched the whiskey line.
Yeah.
And she launched the perfume. And I'm like, And she finished the Renaissance tour, ended this year, right? She's performing at the halftime for
Super Bowl.
not the Super Bowl, a game in Houston.
Okay.
I think it's over Christmas. And I'm like, we don't see Beyonce outside like this.
Oh, going hard work.
Yes.
Putting in- yeah,
She
okay.
doesn't really care about brands and stuff.
She's
never
not,
been the type.
yes, but she's been, even like after the song on Cowboy Carter that boosted Levi's
Yeah.
shares, I think she did something with Levi's. I'm like, I don't think we see Beyonce drops an album, does a tour, goes away.
Puts 2 Instagram pictures.
Goes away for years. She is working.
Guys, let me tell you when
and
it's
I'm like, this is weird.
It is very weird. Let me tell you when it's all going down. This is when you know it's going down. The second she files for divorce.
That we know.
That is
That
it.
one we know.
That
when
is
she
it.
files, it's like she'll file and then we'll see a video of the feds coming to collect him.
Mark the date.
It's yeah.
Do you
but
think
I
it's
was just-
coming?
100%.
I don't.
It's
I,
coming.
to me, it's weird
100%.
how hard she's working. Like, we're not saying she's not a hard worker.
Yeah.
We know she's disciplined in her craft, but to see her drop just brands and like out here promoting her stuff, like she's normally it's like the brand will drop and she'll be like, yeah, that's my brand, and she has the team do stuff and you'll see her just. She's even like for her hair care launch, and she had like she was with the influencers.
Yeah.
This Beyonce
She
who
was
owns our
mixing
internet.
with the people. She was
Yes.
mixing with the people. And we know her as the Queen Untouchable.
Yes.
You know? She was down with the people.
Yes.
Yes.
She's
yes.
out here like at places promoting like the whiskey, and I'm like,
She was like Prince. She just hovers everywhere. She doesn't really walk.
Yeah.
She just glides.
and you just see like a shiny thing pass by, and you're like,
That's
everyone's
Beyonce.
like, did we see it? Did we not see it? What did you see? I'm like, it's odd. I think it's very interesting.
She's turning a page to be a business mogul in a way.
I think she's also acquiring her own wealth. So if shit
Yeah.
goes down,
Yeah.
it's not that it was our wealth. I think.
Oh,
Anyway,
like her
she's
her
creating
brand
her
to-
very specific her brands.
brands. Yeah. That are not tied to
Yes.
Jay-Z. Okay.
I think it's very fascinating.
On a sad note, Bishop T.D. Jakes. Did
I
you
saw
watch
that
that
video.
video?
Someone
Oh,
people
my
should
Lord.
have posted that. But
Oh,
again,
they
it's
shouldn't
the
have
internet.
posted
I
that.
haven't seen that. What is that about?
Oh, you can
I
see
think either he
came really close there.
was preaching and you're sitting on a stool, and then it's like, I don't know if he
He
was
started saying a prayer straight there because he like I
he
don't
could
know.
feel, I don't know if he was having a stroke. I'm not sure. Yeah, because you can see it's like it's kind of he starts leaning. When they was shouting to the phone, somebody hold him. Like, okay.
They took a long time. Didn't
Yeah,
they?
Yeah.
for them to, I think maybe they're thinking, is he in the spirit? And then you can see he's kind of shaking.
Yeah.
And it's like the
the mic is
microphone is
dropping.
dropping.
Oh.
And he's and you know, it's a one of like a bar stool, those high stools that preachers lean on. And you can see he's starting to just tilt. And I'm like, why is nobody moving? Then suddenly people ran to like go and like get him. And then it's like they all ran at the same time. Now there was people who had to be like, no, step back.
Yeah.
But it was just so weird because I don't know, maybe people are in prayer, so they're not noticing what's happening.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Was he conducting some prayers or was he
Yeah,
just
he was
preaching?
preaching and
Oh.
doing prayer, and then
Okay.
you can just see
Okay.
it's like he's pausing, something is going wrong.
Yeah, it
and
didn't look
he's
great. Oh,
yeah,
it didn't
and he
look great at
starts
all.
just tilting, and I'm like, this man's having a stroke. Why is no one
no.
going to like get him?
What happened after that?
I think he's in hospital
He's
now.
in hospital now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but they say he's recovering.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
Sending out healing energy.
Yeah.
Yes, to him indeed.
Yes.
yeah.
Yes. I don't know. One day we'll do anyway. For all the femicide that's happening in Kenya, man.
Another one.
But yeah. But it's and it's a pastor. A segue. He was a pastor
Oh, I saw
who
that
stabbed
one.
the wife. Yeah.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah.
I saw that.
Yeah.
Really terrible
So
stuff.
I saw they were saying the cops are looking for him. But it's so wild because he stabbed her. She was rescued by the watchman, the security guy. They rush her to hospital. He comes to the hospital with blood still on him, demanding to see her. Then because the security had told them what had happened, the nurses refused to let him see her. Then he left, went back to her apartment to try and get the kids. And the neighbors are like, no,
Yeah.
we're not going to let you. Then he leaves. And then some people try to report the cops, and the cops would be like, that's not our jurisdiction. So finally one station took up the case. But it took, this man was just wandering about with blood on his shirt. And people know he stabbed his wife. And the video, there was again X. Oh God, don't go to X, because people had posted
somebody
pictures
had
of
put pictures.
yeah,
videos.
like her car, he stabbed her, I think, in the head. Then she's protecting herself, so she has lost fingers. Like he cut off her fingers. Sad. It's mad.
And I read somewhere that this was not the first time this has happened. This kind of violence, he's done that before too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's like everybody's just looking. It's like, okay, yeah,
It's
let's wait.
domestics.
Yeah.
We're not dealing with.
Yeah.
Anyway, God.
That's a sad
anyway,
point, but
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Well, one day, sometimes I'm like, I have to think about. At some point, sometimes it seems so hopeless, like nothing is being done, but something will happen.
Yeah.
Like
A shift will come.
a shift will come.
Yeah.
Yeah, a shift will come. All right. So our topic for today.
Segueing into the main topic
Yes.
of
Yes.
of the day, which is fashion industry and the
Consumerism.
consumerism. Yes.
Consumer culture.
Consumer culture, and especially in the fashion industry.
Yes. And if I recommend to watch the Netflix show. It's called Buy Now.
Yeah.
The Shopping Conspiracy.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the things and then when they are in your face with the numbers and like tracing to see what happens to clothes and they're just like, hi.
Something that caught my eye, and I haven't finished watching the documentary I mentioned, but we started having this conversation around, because shopping as it is, and especially online shopping, which has made consumerism even worse. There are a lot of people who have skills around user design and the psychology of humans.
Yes.
And what caught my eye was that there are people who feel the morality, their moral values will not allow them be the ones who are creating this space where we are encouraging a lot of bad with it.
Yes,
consumerism.
Yes.
So it also starts with maybe if we break down like what we mean by consumerism is
consumerism culture.
Yes. A consumerism culture is an economic and social system that encourages the consumption of goods and services as a means of attaining well-being. So you're being encouraged to buy as much.
Coming off of our last episode of wellness and all that stuff. Yes.
So we are back into the same space with the fashion industry now specifically.
And they really, I guess, lean into this whole thing of, when you get the thing, you'll feel better because it's part of the fact that we say retail therapy so casually.
Yeah.
They lean on that, and to be able to like push consumers to always feel like, oh yeah, no, now I need to have this jacket in this color.
Yeah.
Oh no, now this influencer is saying this. Okay, yes, maybe now I need to get those pants and that bodysuit and this thing.
Yeah.
And it's just like, to what end?
Yeah.
And it's so fascinating to see, I guess, I mean, again, this is one of the things but when you see the facts and people talking about it, you're just like, when it's in your face, it's very different.
Yeah.
The intentionality
Yeah.
and how deliberate these companies are in terms of continuing to push this culture, because their revenue and all this, you know, companies now, especially in the time we are in, if your revenue last year was 100 billion, if your revenue this year is 100 billion, that's a flop, right? You always need to be
Higher. You
higher
have
and higher
percentages to hit.
and higher, yes. And in consumer culture, what does that higher mean?
Yeah.
It means people buy more, right? People, and it's them also. Who was, I think you were giving us a story about people who are making bulbs.
Yeah.
And they made the bulb.
That was that was the first the group of what would you call people who are in the same line of work that
Same industry.
manufactured bulbs. So they found that we've sold a lot of bulbs, but no one's coming back to buy more.
Yeah.
So we'll all agree amongst ourselves that we'll thin the strip that's
filament.
within the filament
Yeah.
that's within the bulb. They don't know any better.
Yeah.
We'll make the bulb brighter. That way it seems like they're getting more, but they're getting less.
Yes.
So we can make more money out of them.
So the bulb does not last
So the
3
bulb,
years.
yeah,
it lasts 6 months.
6 months,
And you have to replace your bulbs.
Yeah, yeah. And then all companies then adopted that same way of thinking that, listen, we want to make a great product for the next 2 years. Anything after that, then we can sell more of them.
And I even realized, I don't know, maybe it was your friend who were laughing about. I was like, oh, you have a really nice shirt. He's like, yeah, it's a Zara t-shirt. He's like, yeah, I probably this one. He's like, I haven't washed it so far. Because it's like, I know it will only survive 3 washes.
Yeah.
And we know these things.
Yes.
But we still go
keep
there to
going
buy
back.
their product.
Yeah.
And we know post 3 washes,
Yeah.
it's a wrap.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it even spills into the tech world.
Oh,
The
yeah.
scariest moment of that whole thing, sorry, I'm going to drop some spoilers here, but is when a very high-ranking person in Amazon was asked, okay, you make all this stuff and you're sending out more stuff than ever before. Have you ever thought to yourself what happens to it after they are done using it?
Yeah.
She paused. That's when I knew that we're in trouble.
Yeah.
They don't
Most
care.
of the producers
clue.
of even the clothes industry, tech industry, they don't have only recently have they started adding the recyclable icon on their product to mean it can be recycled, but there's
do they?
no follow through to actually what happens to this item when it's done its use,
End of life, yeah.
End of life. Like, what are the recyclable bits about it? Is it gonna get turned into something else? Will it be buried, burned, or whatever? Most of them, the bulk stops at the end of somebody has purchased the product.
They just put for you
recycle. So why are you gonna recycle it? But coming back to the fashion industry, maybe from my own experience of where I know consumerism has been big for me is that moving to Europe, being hit with 4 different seasons of the year. So you have winter, you have spring, you have summer, and then you have autumn. I started buying clothes for 2 seasons. So I started with winter, so very heavy clothes and layering the clothes, and then I had summer clothes. And then over time, I started getting a push of, when it comes to autumn, you just can't wear the same clothes.
Fall colors.
There are colors associated with the clothes that you're buying. Oh, now they have to be maybe beige and they have to be browns, So if I had something that was in spring, which maybe was probably blue, it doesn't fit.
It doesn't know, because now springs also now is like pastels.
It has to be pastels.
Now
and
also that
pinks.
has their colors.
It has their colors. So now my consumption of fashion items is split into 4 different units. So I have to buy clothes for spring. I have to buy for winter. I have to buy for autumn. Yes.
It's not a have to.
So my have to is because I've already been fed that this is what I need to do.
Yeah.
To be able to fit in into the culture.
Yeah.
But I can tell like that first thing of your fear of missing out is actually pushing your consumerism much more than you think, because you're being fed this thing. So you don't want to be walking down the road in yellow and it is winter.
And it's, yeah. And they're
So
like,
if you have a yellow jacket and it's winter, you're like, oh, I'm not fitting in, you know? So
we all need to look sad and
Yes.
gray.
See, I think these rules apply to women only. I've never thought to myself, oh, pastel colors, or let me try and do this to fit in. 99% of the most brand loyal people in this world are men. We will find one thing that fits really well and we'll buy it in all the colors.
yeah.
We are the worst thing for the fashion industry.
Yes, but then where guys get caught up in consumerism, it's a balance, is in electronics.
Yes.
Right? Because, and they even talk about the electronics part, about the guy who basically had to take like Apple to court.
Yeah.
Because why can't people fix their phone
Yeah. Or even change the battery.
or change the battery? Like,
Yeah.
why are we built things such that if the thing is ruined, I'm like, back in the day, your Nokia phone would fall, everything scatters, you put them back together. If the phone is not working, you'll go to some guy in the Nairobi CBD somewhere who will be like, oh, you just need to change the battery. So you buy a new battery. You buy yourself a Nokia phone. That is 10 years, 15 years
Straight.
straight. I remember my first phone in campus, I had that phone until Nokia died.
Yeah.
Nokia went bust. That's when I was like, well, okay, I guess now we have to get another phone. But then now, again, it's the same thing where now all these guys have come together, because we used to be able to open Android phones. Used to be able to like open the back and remove the battery and buy a new battery.
Yes, yes.
Then where are we at now?
Now there's no phone that I
Now,
can think about.
yeah, see, because then same thing. They're now all colluding
Yeah.
as an industry to be like, you know, it's beneficial for us if folks are not able to like switch these things out. So now we have a period where, and it's wild to me that a phone company can decide you bought the iPhone. What iPhone are you at now?
16.
16. So you bought the iPhone, you had the iPhone 14 or 15. These phones are not cheap. You invested in it. And then they can decide, oh, in the launch for this year, yeah, we're phasing out iPhone 14. Okay, technically you can keep the phone. But then you don't get updates.
Yeah.
You don't, the thing just becomes slower.
Yeah. They also
Starts-
remove the maybe like the charging cables that are for specific gold
Yes.
devices off the market.
Yes,
So
off
you're
the market,
forced
because
to-
now the new ones
Yes.
are Type C,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
And then it's wild to me that phone companies can be allowed to do that. Like, oh, we've launched now Pixel, whatever, and so Android version, whatever, is defunct. And it's like somebody has like, what do you? These things are not, we're not talking about things that are $30.
Yes, has hundreds.
This is
to thousands, sometimes.
thousands
Yeah.
of dollars.
Yeah.
High hundreds, and you can just be like, yeah, that one is written off. Now we're
Yeah.
moving to. They should not even be allowed to do that. But
Yeah.
because again, these companies are tied to shareholders, where they're saying, oh, if you did 100 billion last year, this year we want at least 150 billion.
So you have to push the
So
product.
people have to.
Yeah.
Your turnaround of phones is what's running out of these people's pockets. It's wild to me that that's even allowed.
It keeps someone in the job as well. The fact that you fail, because the one guy from Adidas always thought to himself, I'm trying to better what I did. Like you said, if it was 100 million, it's going to be 200 million this year. I'm trying to better what he thought, to get into the minds of people. How I need to get into what they like. You want to get into their choices. So he went for music stars, Kanye
Yes,
West.
yes.
He did the Yeezy
Beyonce.
thing.
Yes, yes.
Beyonce. You touch on, you let those people become the leaders. Put them in the forefront of the brand and have your brand there as well.
Yeah.
Even
And that will build up. That will build your 100 billion to 500
even I was
billion.
saying that, why do teams have 6 kids?
Yes. I honestly, if you ask me, for me, that's a very innovative way of thinking about having, like, going beyond what the product is for initially, because Adidas was mainly for sports.
Yeah.
You wouldn't have found me wearing anything Adidas on the street.
Yeah.
But now tapping into the psychology of people and what they probably associate as good, and then tapping into that market. For me, that's a fantastic marketing.
It's good marketing.
Yes.
However, when now you start pushing over, because I think consumerism
Yes.
basically is just, it's a waste,
Yes.
right? It's one thing to be like, yeah, we want to be able to, our market is capped to like people who are into football. The people say, how many other billion people who are not into football? Let's expand the market. That's fine. That is, but then now when they're saying they produce how many billion articles of clothing in a year, it's more than the number of people we have in this planet.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what do you mean we are producing that much amount of even just clothing?
Yeah, definitely. It's from the perspective of trying to always make more money by producing more. So for example, they would go for this year, they would do like a release with Beyonce. Next year, they would do a release with Kanye. Next year. So everybody feels like I need to get this year's item, next year's item. And it's not just one item. If you buy the shoes, you also want the t-shirts. You also want because you're like, this is a limited, and that's another marketing gimmick.
Limited
This
edition.
is limited release.
Limited release, yeah.
So
100%.
everybody is pushing to get that product. And then next year you'll be pushed for another limited release item.
But you see, the irony is, which is what because I'll even let me pick Adidas, allegedly. The quality, and no one's ever testing to see, is this quality still the same? Back in the day, you could buy an Adidas sweatshirt, and that thing sits with you for 6 years.
Yeah.
And it's not machine washing, you know, the way you wash it, vigorous wash, and the thing stays for how many years? It is not the same.
Yeah, it's not the same. Yeah.
So the fact that an article from some of these big brands, that you're not spending again $20 to buy an Adidas piece of cloth, unless it's socks. But then in a year, the thing is sitting like this. The t-shirt now is,
And then the
or
color
you do
has
one
changed.
wash and it's now a crop top. How is it that I'm spending that much more money to buy your product? And it's even it's sometimes it's weird, and I know a lot of our countries we have like all this consumer protection, and it's like, what are these people doing? How have we ended up where we are at now?
Yeah, the laws have to change, especially from like working them backwards, you know. And this is my sort of idea if I was to solve a problem where recycling is a big thing and overconsumerism. If a product is found in these landfills or landmines, or it is clogging our oceans, you know, it's like flooded there, like starting to make the companies more accountable to how their products have ended up in this space. Like you start from the back. Because I did see a documentary somewhere in Mexico about this girl who does upcycling of actually clothes from that have ended up in the mines, in the landfill, sorry. So she would go pick up the items, upcycle them, have like a small village where women make bags and stuff. But that's one drop in the ocean of what you can do with this. Like there's so much more that exists.
Yeah.
But she was showing like the brand names of these items. And I'm thinking, if your brand names are appearing in these spaces, yes, there's a consumer involved in between, but there should be spaces where the consumer knows at the end of my product can either go to, you know, like it's something that can be recycled. I can drop it off here. And if I drop it off in the shop that I bought it at, it's not going to go, they're not going to pick this up and put it in the landmine. Like there's a whole process around recycling, which again is the big thing that we are missing right now, because these companies will tell you, oh, you bring back the old clothes that you've bought and we'll give you a certain percentage discount off. But then again, they pick these clothes, and exactly what you would have done as a consumer
is what they do.
Is what they do.
Yes.
So there's no accountability.
I agree with you. Yeah. See, but this is what they have done.
Yeah.
And again, hey, here I am about to attack our countries. A lot of the places they go dump this is in developing countries. Yes. And because they know the laws are so loose there. So in the documentary, they show like how Ghana has basically they're like hills near the ocean, which are all clothing.
Yeah.
Right? And it's just like, one of the ladies is just like, we are a population of 20-something million. How is it that this country is receiving millions of clothing articles a day?
Yeah.
Where is that meant to go to? Where is that meant to go to?
Yeah.
Like you also notice it here. When I drive past that bin every day. You know,
It's always full. The clothing bin, yeah.
jam-packed.
The,
Yeah.
the
Stuff
clothing,
outside.
Yeah,
even-
there's this massive bins you can
Oh,
take
I
all
do, yeah,
clothes.
yeah.
It's always full, and there's
It's
always
always
be like
full.
people now who've left them
Like,
on
who
there.
left them outside.
Yeah.
So which
Always,
is
daily.
There's a problem within us as people. We can't start blaming someone who's supplying something that we actually want. We need to find it within ourselves to change the way of thinking.
Yes,
That
yes.
I don't need this. I've got those Jordans that I've been wearing for the past 5 years. They're not falling apart. They're fine. I don't need the ones that are being sold to
Yeah.
us.
And shoes are worse. Shoes are fully plastic.
Yeah, that's 100%.
Unless it's a leather shoe. Most shoes won't degrade.
psychologically, we are wired in a certain way where
Or maybe if we pay more, if we buy Gucci only, or Louis Vuitton, or Prada,
you would have one
you'd
item
have more
that you,
one item that you will cherish
Yeah.
and you'll hold closer onto it.
Yeah, I did. Let me first of all be very honest. There's 1 or 2 years where I overconsumed fashion, where I'm the person who's probably was filling those recycle bins for clothes because I would decide, I'm gonna remove all my clothes and give them away, so put them in those bins. But I end up next year, I buy even more, so I keep going through the same cycle. But it's
Even my relatives are not taking the clothes anymore. They
Yeah,
say
because
send
they
money.
already
Yeah,
have
back
enough.
then we used to go with clothes to the village. I
yes,
know.
yes.
Nobody wants that.
Nobody
Nobody
wants
wants
it.
that. Yeah. So psychologically, I know that, especially what I was mentioning, moving here and having all these 4 seasons and being psychologically told like you can't wear this certain color
Yeah.
in a different season. So the way that our psyches have been fed to believe that whatever the marketing people are pushing to us is the gospel truth, it has to start with us psychologically realizing like, yeah, these are all lies. Like realizing for them, it's about the money. It's not trying to satisfy me. It's more about them making the money.
100%. Then it's a moral thing then.
Yeah.
Because they are taking advantage of the fact that you don't feel fulfilled enough
Yeah.
to go through life with the things that you've got.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You need to buy something to fill, because it's actually just filling a void that you might have, saying that, this will totally, once I get this, that's all I
Yeah.
need. You will never have enough.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wonder if this is now also is the internet is playing a role here.
Social media, especially.
Yes, is playing a role. And I wonder if that's where to clamp it down at. Because remember back in the day, on social media, like if you're an influencer or whatever, and you start talking about how, yesterday I was feeling so tired. So then I went and bought this drink that's got electrolytes and now I feel great, blah, blah, blah. And there were ads, they were paid by the electrolyte company, right? And then now the laws had to, and I wonder if this began in Europe and the US, where there was a requirement that if it's an ad,
Yeah.
the influencer has to state it's an ad,
Yes,
right?
yes.
You can't just be out here. And I think now this should start happening with these clothing holes, or electronic holes. Like now everything is a hole, furniture hole.
Yeah.
It's not normal to, and they're showing it they're showing different clips of different influencers showing videos of like a full room of like all these deliveries they've just received today from Shein or from Amazon. And I'm like, that's not normal, right? I'm pretty sure that's a Shein influencer and they have a tab
Yeah.
or like you can shop $5,000 a month for you to be able to shop on Shein. That should be, people like that should be forced to state there. No, actually, Shein is sponsoring and I did not spend my money.
Yeah.
Because then people should not think it's normal to want to buy $1,000 of clothes a month. Mind you, you're not buying a Louis Vuitton bag where 1,000 is one bag. You're spending $1,000 in Shein.
Which is pretty cheap stuff. So,
Yes,
yeah.
that's like
Yeah. One thing that I've
at least 1,000, like at least 100. If we put at $10 per, that is 100. That is not normal.
and those items are like $9.999.
Yes.
But one thing you've mentioned about hauls that I have consciously decided to do is anytime I see a clothing haul on my social media, I skip.
You remove it, yeah.
I skip.
And I'm like,
I
stop
skip
showing
that
me
content.
these things.
Yes, I don't want to see any more clothing hauls because these things are being pushed to you. And now there's something, especially on TikTok, in certain countries, there's something called a TikTok shop. So where they will show you that product they're doing a haul or something, but you can also click within the app to immediately go shop.
Oh my Lord.
So it's rolled out in the US and the UK. I think not many other countries have. I think even Germany. In Africa, I don't think we have that yet. But this is now bringing the items much, much closer to you. They no longer even have to do this big advertising with the companies advertising. They want the influencers to actually influence or give you the
Directly,
whole,
and
then you directly click on the TikTok shop to go and buy
they're probably
this
getting
item.
a cut because of what you're shopping for the referral code or whatever. I'm like, this is not normal.
Yes.
This is absolutely not normal.
Yeah, see, they've come to you as far as marketing is concerned. You're on social media. That's where they'll find you. You know, before that, if you turn off your TV, there was nothing to tell you that.
That's true.
Yeah.
Only the billboards or the newspapers.
Yeah, 100%. But you're in your house.
Yeah.
So now in the place where I can be the most calm and relaxed and where I've got time is where they find you now. It's perfect. It is perfect. And one guy saw the one of the heads of one of these brands came out and said, you know, he was guilty about what he's done, influencing people to do certain things and going after demographics that he knew exactly how to influence them into buying into his Adidas brand by labeling the people that they look at every day. Asake, Adidas, Gucci. He was the main poster child for that. That was so big for Adidas.
Who again?
Asake.
Asake, the rapper, the Nigerian singer.
Oh, Asake.
Asake, yeah. Adidas Gucci
didn't know
is
that.
what he look at a lot of his and a lot of not just him, a lot of African artists.
Yeah.
Yeah, they come and they're like,
come
oh,
and-
new demographic.
Yeah.
Cool, that's just brand.
There's
It's
money
not
there as well.
normal.
You know, in my brain, I've always thought like African artists specifically, they're not brand sponsored. Like they're buying
massive.
this
Now
thing.
the Afrobeat is really big now. So
So-
now
so
they're like,
brands come
you
to-
guys are the new ones. So yes, the brands will sponsor you for in your videos, your concerts, wherever you are being posted on social media, you're always wearing the brand.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's massive, you know.
Yeah, it's a massive.
Yeah.
And you know that the you know I've noticed something. Even I don't know if it's true, but the people with the least want to look like they have the most.
Yeah.
So you'll buy a lot of stuff that looks expensive, but is not. Or you'll try your best to buy that Gucci top, knowing that it's not really real Gucci, and even the fake brands.
Yeah.
Oh,
over
that's
and
where
above
the money is
That's
at.
where the money is.
Yeah.
You know, even the fake
Abibas,
stuff.
not Adidas.
You know, it even says Adidas.
it
It
says
even says
Adidas.
Adidas.
Okay,
Yes, but
okay.
it's just maybe now somewhere inside, like you know, the fact that you have these videos of like for bags. I see
Yeah.
this for luxury bags,
Yeah.
where the people who have to be experts and they look at the bag, it looks what's a popular brand, Louis Vuitton.
Yeah.
But then they know they have to go inside and then the stitching that they released, they never had this stitching, this is off. But they have to like really look to find and then feel the leather and then feel the
Smell
and
it.
I'm just like smell it. They're like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm just like, Jesus.
If they don't use the right glue, oh no.
Yeah. They're like, no, that's not Louis Vuitton, or that's
yeah.
not Chanel,
Do
or
you-
whatever.
do you- see, also the sad part is I don't see a way out of this.
In terms of consuming.
the
I
younger
think-
generation
yeah.
is growing up with these things in their hands.
Yeah.
And I don't see the companies blocking these ads because that's a lot of revenue. So Adidas will come and say, make sure you promote Jackie's videos because she's working with us.
Yeah.
They'll never, because Facebook knows that Adidas is paying a lot of money.
That's true. Because if you're a big
know what I mean?
advertiser, we will circulate your
And-
content more.
Yeah,
Oh, my Lord.
and even state-wise, how many governments can be? You think Ruto is going to say, wait. On a,
Not that one. Tell what you're going to say about Ruto. Definitely not.
on a moral side, can we please just pull back a little bit, just for the sake of mankind and landfills? I don't see a way out of it.
So it is maybe the depends here is that it's our mindsets to change as the consumers. That's where the big change will come from.
Yeah. But I do
From
think
the-
that... Yeah,
yeah.
sorry, go ahead.
From the company's perspective, if all their bottom line is about the money, they will do and manipulate whatever
system as much as
system
possible.
exists, whether it's social media, TV, even in your face kind of content, that will never change probably because it's a capitalist world. They will always try and make the money. So the biggest bulk of the change is from us psychologically.
Yeah.
And that's why I loved the book by Marie Kondo, like the minimalism kind of lifestyle. And I spent a bit of time trying that. Yeah, I became a maximalist after, but I've done.
Question. Okay, so you see, you read the book. I never watched the show, but I heard a lot about it.
Yeah.
Did you resonate with it? What about it made you think, yeah, okay, I should pay it back or?
So actually for me, it was stuff that I owned that I was trying to think, does this thing spark joy? Like there are things I have in my wardrobe that I had, or even up to today, have not worn them for years. So I would go through a cycle of picking through my stuff and just saying, I probably need just 5 items of this. I don't need this much. Again, don't forget, I'm still taking these things through recycling. But now I minimize bringing in more new stuff. So it starts with clearing out and then being very intentional with what next I'm buying. But I did find that it gave me a lot of clarity because I used to be that kind of a person who always has never have anything to wear. Like I open my wardrobe, yes, I have a lot of clothes, but I simply feel like I have nothing to wear. I feel very overwhelmed. When I went through this process, it became very clear now, like I know what I can quickly put on. I know exactly where it is. Everything is color coded. So it resonated with me at that point. But then again, I keep getting influenced slowly. So I'll keep adding a few items here and there. But yeah, the book really worked for me.
Yeah, I think, we're there. I don't know if we can be helped. Because I'm thinking, because I kind of watched one of the episodes.
Yeah.
And maybe I had her in a podcast and this whole concept of like, sparking. And I'm like, this woman is smart in making money. Fine.
Yeah.
But we didn't grow up with stuff.
Yes.
So it's weird to me as adults. We need someone to tell us this. And it's like, we grew up without stuff. Like it never really influenced our joy.
But because of lack of stuff, sometimes you overcompensate. So,
but I don't think I lacked stuff as a kid.
For me, I lacked stuff.
Because we were in school.
Yeah.
So the only time you have clothes to wear is the weekend.
Yes.
We were in school uniform, especially for us. We grew up in countries where we're in school uniforms from class 1 to form 4. So where was the time of lacking stuff coming in? Because you only wearing clothes on the weekend. Mind you, when I say the weekend, it's Saturday. Because Sunday, if your parents were churchy people, you have your church clothes. That's it. So it's like, I wonder where that came from because I don't think it was a lack. Now, for our parents' generation, it's different. Or people who grew up in abject poor, it's different.
Yeah.
But especially because we went through a time where we were in school, we were school uniform kids. We're not like American schools or where it's like you're wearing your own clothes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I do look at it differently because even us, we wore uniforms to school. Yeah. But again, you had either something with a very nice material or something that looked better, or you had 2 sweaters and somebody had 3 sweaters, or you had 3 shirts for...
This is for school. Or your school uniforms.
Yeah, school uniforms. So there was somebody who had the same, maybe we used to wear white shirts in primary school. So there were people who had a shirt for each day of the week. I had probably had 2 shirts. So I had to keep recycling.
Even as you had to wash.
Yes.
You had to wash your clothes. Get home, wash your dress.
Yeah, you wash or you recycle it. So you wear it the next day.
Yeah.
So even though we had minimal items, I always felt the lack if I didn't have an item for each and every day compared to the kids who had this. Same to high school. There were people who had skirts for each day of the week. Some of us had 1 or 2 skirts that you had to keep changing.
So you guys are not limited in high school?
No.
That you should come with 3 shirts?
No.
Or for us,
you could have as many.
I think, but I don't know if they enforce. I think when you were given your list, it was, you should have this amount, this, blah, blah, blah.
And they had a maximum amount.
I think so.
No, us we didn't have a maximum. Yeah.
It was beneficial to not have many because a lot of your shit got stolen. So you learn how to recycle.
Yeah. We used to call it recycling.
Yeah. But someone steals your shirt, you steal a shirt. It's a circular economy. Let me call it circular economy.
Yeah. But it's in essence, what I'm trying to say is that even though we had few items, there was also a sense of I don't have enough of those few items. So for me, when I talk about, I would overcompensate later in life with many more items because I felt the lack of the very few items that I could change through. Yeah. So yes, the to the point of I guess also it depends on the different how you grew up and also the circumstances in terms of, even though we had church clothes, my parents would not let me wear my church clothes throughout the day on a Sunday.
Yeah, you have
so
to
I would
change
get
it.
home, you change home, and then so you always feel like, oh no, I still don't have exactly what I want for the whole day. So
Yeah.
it's very psychologically seated in my
Yeah.
head. Yeah.
Yeah, I had some lady talk about her kids. Her kids, she had one kid at the time, and she was saying, it's interesting how we can learn so much from kids, because her kid had this sparkly fairy dress that she loved. So they're going for a friend's birthday party, so she wore her sparkly fairy dress. All right. Then the next day they were going for we're going for lunch and then whatever function, and she wore her sparkly fairy dress. And then so the mom is like, I think the next weekend they were going for some other thing. She wore her sparkly fairy dress. The mom is like, you should save that. Like, why do you keep wearing that thing? And she's like, because I like it. And mom is like, yeah, you should wear it less because you like it. And she's like, no, but I like it. And like every time my mom is like, yeah, but you save it so that you don't, it doesn't tear quickly.
Yeah.
But the kid's response is like, but I like it. And she was like, it's weird as adults. If you buy this thing that you feel is special, you don't want to wear it often. You buy it so I have that Gucci coat,
yes,
so I have it.
Yeah.
And then you wear it once a year. But for a kid, if they tell you they really want this sparkly fairy dress, they'll wear it to school. We're going jogging, you just wear
even to sleep.
They'll wear it. To whatever, will wear it.
Yeah.
It's cold, they'll just throw a sweater on top of the sparkly fairy dress and she's like, yeah, why do we do that as adults? That you are like, oh, I really want this thing, you spend money on it, and then you keep it.
Yeah.
And I was just like, yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Because then this is how kids end up with few things. Because they're like, no, I like the sparkly fairy dress. I like that t-shirt. And I like that.
Or even
The end.
men, maybe they also wear again and again exactly the same thing. Yeah.
It's so odd.
Yeah, but psychologically, there's a big need for change in our psyche and the way of thinking about overconsumption. Yeah, and also the social media being a big influence. Like, it's okay to miss out on the hauls. The fear of missing out is big, but you don't have to copycat everybody's
I think
life.
there should be a crackdown on the internet. The same way they ended up forcing the thing about ads. Some of these hauls are basically ads.
Yeah, they are.
Right? So, but then they've circumvented it. I think
But everyone is selling something on the internet. Anyone who's got social media is selling something.
Yeah, if you have a large following, it's a because it's a job too. Right? We live in a time where someone who's an influencer, that's their full-time job. So the more they acquire followers, this is their job. So it would be weird if I have 1 million followers, but I'm not making money. So you also want to find ways, how do I leverage this following I have for me to make money? So that means I'll take every influencer job. I'll also you'll also add to the consumerism. So I'm here, I'm a Zara influencer, but now I'm also launching a handbag line, right? Because you're cashing in and I have 1 million people. So if only 10% or 20% buy this bag, here's another thing that is interesting. These companies are just fully shameless. Now that we're in a world where it's climate change and now we care about things, they just slap, as you're saying, recycling on there. They'll slap how it's sustainably made. Something that somebody said today in a podcast I was listening to, they're like, what is vegan leather? And I was like,
vegan leather.
They call it vegan leather. But it's fake leather. It's not leather.
Oh, it's fake leather.
It's what used to be called pleather before.
Oh, pleather.
Or plastic leather or whatever. They just call it vegan leather. What the fuck is vegan leather? It's either leather or it's whatever material you're saying you're using.
Plastic, yeah.
But then they want to appeal to people because in that podcast somebody was saying, oh yeah, no, my jacket is vegan leather. And they're like, but she's like, yeah, because she tries to buy sustainably. They were like, that's dumb. What do you mean? This was pleather before. They've just slapped the vegan on there because they know, consumers. And consumers, yes, we might say we care about the climate, but we're also lazy. So when someone slaps sustainably made, ethically made, no one's doing the math to figure out what does that
Fair
mean.
trade.
Fair trade.
Oh my Lord, that one
It's
got us.
ethically made. How? Nobody's looking.
ethically sourced.
Ethically
Yes,
sourced.
those
bio.
coffee beans.
Yeah.
No one. It's bio product. No, us we are lazy. We're like, I'm doing my part for the planet. I'm wearing vegan leather. I now I saw when I moved to Salon, I was trying to buy a couch, and they had fabrics, and there was oh my Lord, was it like I want to say like a vegan cotton? There was some weird title. And I remember going to the store, and the lady was like, I was like, okay, so is it better for the environment? Is it? She's like, yeah, it is. And she gives me the spiel. And then she tells me, but it doesn't feel nice. So I'm like, what is it made from? But it's just all these things that to be honest, it's basically she's telling me it's because, now we have to look like we're sustainable.
Yeah.
But it's just, they will do whatever to continue getting the customers, and they're not going to change their production lines to make it fair trade. They're not going to ethically source shit. They're sourcing from the same place. They are still making you plastic jackets and calling it vegan leather. It's not. Don't call it leather. It's not from a cow. Let's just forget. Tell us the name of polyester or whatever you're using, which is even worse, because folks are like, okay, so if it's vegan leather, if you throw it in a landfill, will it biodegrade? No.
Yeah, no.
Moral of the story is, if aliens were here
Oh my Lord.
and they wanted to take us over, say, let's go for them now.
Yeah.
They'd probably look and say, there's no point. Let's just,
These people will finish each other. Look at
we'll
them.
just bury ourselves in our own trash.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's what's
truly
going to
will.
happen.
Yes, yes.
We're just
truly
going to
will.
get buried in our own trash, the own stuff that we either didn't buy and they threw out. These luxury things that they say they are. Do you know what they do with them if you don't buy them? They cut
They
them
cut
up.
They
them.
cut
I saw
them.
that.
They destroy them. So they make them that you can't use them.
Yes.
And then put them in the trash.
Because they want to ensure there's also, because the thing with also luxury is exclusivity.
Yeah.
So if there's a release and it's not sold out, they never want to, on sale, whatever, they slash them.
You know what I saw that shocked me to my bones was that even soap, they squeeze out soap
Yes.
in the dumpsters because
Yes.
when
They-
homeless people pick up that soap, they don't want that brand to be associated
Yes.
with homeless people.
Yeah, they said this lady, they told her it was Bath and Body Works or whatever.
I didn't want to mention
I'll
the
say
name.
them. They've been saying on the documentary. And she was asking, like, why can't we? And they're like, oh, no, we don't want to be the brand who's associated with homeless people. So when they have leftover soap, they go and squeeze out
the
all the
bottles.
soap. I said,
And I'm
this
like,
is insanity.
This is a human need to actually wash your body. It's good for every person that exists. Clothes, we
it
can talk about
actually
something
might
else, but-
save you indirectly because it will stop illness from getting that homeless person and ending up with
If
you.
it bothers you so much, strip your brand from the bottle.
Yes.
Or squeeze them into other bottles,
Yes.
into big cans, and donate them to homes.
To homes.
Or to
but-
homeless people.
Stop.
Yeah.
We're not
Surely.
that. We're not those kind of people. We treat each other badly by nature. You know.
But let me ask you now, I think maybe as our outro for this, like, what's your takeaway on, like, is there something you're going to change thinking about watching that documentary and also having this
Oh,
conversation?
yeah, the one lady said something
Yeah.
to me in the documentary. She
Yeah.
said, if you think you need something, put it in your cart for
A month.
a month or a few days. She
Yeah.
said a few days. And then if you forget about it over the time that you had told yourself to, then you don't
You
need
don't
it.
need it. Yeah.
What if
know.
you revisit and find it again? and
If
keep
you
reminding-
yeah, see, the thing is that's what we do. Now for entertainment, do you know what I do? I go to websites and I fill up my cart. Fill up my cart, go to checkout, and then I peruse a little bit more.
Yeah.
Go back to checkout.
Yes.
and they're falling asleep and leaving the cart there full of stuff, and I just don't take any of it.
Yeah.
That's what I do during my spare time. I don't watch anything. I don't learn any. I just
It's
like
just
to
browse.
browse
And
and
that's
add to
scary.
cart.
There's
That is
days I
scary.
found myself like, oh, I'm bored. I'm like, oh, let me go on.
the days when I have the money.
Yeah. Yeah, he's bought something and not remembered.
Yeah, I'm also.
He got a delivery and he's like, what the fuck?
Me too. I've done that many times. Where I'm like, what is this? What was coming? I'm like, did I buy
Or you
something?
get a text that it's on
That
its
was
way.
COVID. COVID, I used to just get deliveries. I'm like, whoa, what was it today? Oh, my Lord.
Gift.
That was terrible.
Yeah.
That was terrible. So what was your takeaway?
My takeaway is just try and do the right thing. You don't
Yeah.
need these things. You
Yeah.
know? Work on yourself. Feel better about yourself, and then you'll discover that these things don't add anything to what
Yeah.
your life is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
What was your takeaway?
My takeaway is to be less influenced. To try and not, first of all, not to consume as much as influencing content on hauls and stuff like that. And also to think through each and every item I see somebody trying to sell me, that at the bottom of the line at the bottom of it all, they're not trying to make me happy. They're looking out for themselves in terms of making themselves money. And then that sort of resets me to think I really don't need this item. Yeah. What about yours?
Yeah. So mine is interesting because this came around the time where I was already telling you guys, I am going to have 10 outfits. If you see me wear it 4 times, mind your business.
Yeah.
Because I cannot do, already I hate shopping.
Yeah.
It annoys me that you buy something and then 3 washes later, it's like, how is this t-shirt now a tank top? Like, it's just here. So I was like, I just need to just align, and I don't like thinking about what to wear. If I have 10 things, I already know. Maybe
Yeah.
it can be 10 coordinated pieces so you can swap
Yeah.
or whatever. Or maybe I'll be the person who I'll have 6 white t-shirts and I just wear them Monday to Friday.
Yeah.
One day it will be with a blazer, one day it will be with jeans. That's it.
Like a capsule wardrobe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I'd already been thinking about it. So it's interesting when I saw that and I was just like, yeah, this is, again, just how deliberate these things are being done to consumers really annoys me. And again, I'm just one person. But I was just like, I think already I was tired of a whole bunch of things.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it has given me the go ahead to be like, I'll invest in like a really nice blazer and a really nice. If I'm wearing hot pink in winter, I'm wearing hot pink in winter. That's all I have.
Yeah.
That is all I am doing.
You're not gonna get the winter colors, the grays and the
Let me just wear my hot pink in the winter, summer, spring, all of the above. I cannot do it anymore.
Yeah.
And then one thing that in the documentary that I found so fascinating, this Adidas guy, here talking about, he contributed to a lot of these problems, etc. And he had to step away to do better. It was fascinating at the end. He says, and that's why he has created the first plant-based shoe. It's built from plant material. And I thought to myself, so your solution is to come and bring more product.
maybe biodegradable product.
Okay.
Is it?
But
There's
it's
still more product. It's
There's
still
nothing that's
consumerism.
being done to lessen what's happened. It's still consumed. It was so interesting to me because I was like, this is that guy encapsulates who we are as human beings.
Yeah.
We are terrible. Maybe let me not end on saying we are terrible. But like, I just thought you're here doing this documentary talking about taking ownership of the shit you did, and you end it on also here's my
solution. More product.
More
still
product.
Yeah. It's still the bottom line for
it's
this
still
people.
the bottom line.
Yeah. I want money. So I'm gonna give you a product that makes you feel better about buying that product.
About still buying that
the
product.
But
that
still,
I'm sure
you
you'll go
probably
get,
don't
you'll
need.
get a shit ton of money
Yeah.
from investors
Yeah.
who will want profits. So we are still here.
We're still cycling around the same
Shocking.
problem. Yeah.
Shocking. But yeah, hopefully watch the documentary if you can, but also, you know, it would be nice, like, tell us your takeaways.
Yeah.
And if you're like, yeah, fuck it.
Yeah.
We are here.
You're like
here.
a maximalist.
Might
Buy
as well.
much.
Yes, but
Yeah.
it's wow, sad.
Cool.
Yes.
See you next time.
See you next time.